Hey guys, hey Instagram, hey Facebook. All right, I think I'm finally live on Facebook. Hey guys, welcome to day 12 of 21 Days to Magic. I think that mom brain is probably a thing that never actually goes away because I know I told you guys that I was going to be doing day 12 yesterday, early in the morning on Mother's Day, but then poof, mom brain, the entire day escaped me, and before I knew it, I was asleep on the couch after my little one went to bed and woke up this morning and was like, I never did my live video yesterday. So mom brain just does not go away apparently. Or maybe that's just like being a mom to a toddler, especially on Mother's Day, because my little one was very extra yesterday. So I had a very fulfilling Mother's Day of chasing my little one around. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hey Alina, hey Kyle, hey Emily, hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so today's live video, day 12, we are over halfway through this series, which is insane to me. I'm going to be talking about you cannot hustle your way to balance. So just as I've talked a ton about frequency and high vibrations during this series, I use the example that hot and cold water, it's both water, it's just like opposite ends of the spectrum, just like good and bad, right? I also talked about how problem and solution are always born at the exact same time. It's just that, are you choosing to exist at the frequency of problem, or are you choosing to rise up to elevate and then start operating at the frequency of solution, right? So the same kind of applies to this, and I think I am so guilty of this, and I have really gotten exponentially better at this over the last 2 years, but we're always in a state of improving, right? We could always strive to be a little bit better, and I know that as a single mom running 2 businesses online, that balance is sort of not a thing, right? For me, like, I provide for my daughter through my online businesses, right? So I don't really think that achieving balance is actually real. I think that we're always in a state of balancing. Think of gymnasts, right? Like, they're never perfectly balanced, they're always balancing. They might look perfectly balanced, but they're always critiquing their art, right? And so I think that we're always in this state of balancing. I think it's more about prioritizing and doing what serves your highest good and what serves you to get you to that next level, right? So, and a lot of people have this misconception that a balanced lifestyle is 50-50. That's absolutely not the case. Balance is all about the intention behind what you're doing. I use this example a lot with my clients is, hey Brittany, thanks so much for tuning in. If you are someone who works 40 hours a week, and then on the weekend, all you're doing is worrying about the shit that you didn't get done, and then you're constantly on your phone responding to emails, or, just constantly always in work mode, even when you're not working, you're not being intentional. You're not being present, right? Because you're so focused on what you're not doing, right? And I was so guilty of this as a new mom, it was like, whenever I was working, I felt like I should be momming. And then whenever I was momming, I felt like, but I should be working, right? First of all, we should never should ourselves. I don't even like living in the should. Nobody should live in the should, but we're human and we just do it, right? Hey, Crystal, thanks for tuning in. Or are you the person who maybe works 60 hours a week, but then unplugs for 2 or 3 days and you're 110% present, right? Like, I know I'm someone where, like, I pay for a sitter normally, right? And so for me, I'm usually up at the ass crack of dawn, and I will be the first to admit that I usually work 12-hour days. But then if I want to unplug, if I want to take 2 days off of social media, if I want to take 3 days off of social media, I do not live in the energy of guilt. For me, I work my butt off. I take massive aligned action for these moments, right? Like, I will be damned if I'm creating a life by design, if I'm building a life of freedom, to not enjoy my freedom, right? To work my ass off to have these moments and not be present in those moments, right? So present and being balanced is all about the intention behind what you're doing. If you're someone who wants to work 60 plus hours a week, but then you unplug for a day or two and you're fully present and that's what makes you feel balanced and good, then that's what you do, right? So balance is all about intention and the intention behind what you're doing. It's not about a 50-50 work-life balance or split. It's really about the energy and intention behind what you're doing in that moment, right? So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, and myself included, we hear so often that in order to be more, we have to do more. And, oh, she started 2 years before me, so I have to work 10 times as hard to catch up. Or, she's just better looking than I am, so I have to do 20,000 more invites so that I can make up for, the lack of social media presence that I don't have that she has. Or whatever it is, like, that your limiting belief is creating for you, right? Like, because we could all create a limiting belief as to why we're not good enough or why we have to work harder. But the truth really is that we're worthy because we're worthy. And when we live out our conviction of God's purpose in our life, we can never fail. We can't fuck it up. Even if we think we're fucking it up, we're not fucking it up, right? We can never possibly fail living out God's purpose in our life. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be a few bumps in the road, but we can never fail when we live out God's conviction in our life, right? So when we live in this mindset of I have to do more to be more, we all of a sudden get stuck on this hamster wheel of hustle. And I do not think that hustle is a bad thing. There are times in your life, and I'll do a video on masculine and feminine hustle, but there are times in your life where masculine hustle really freaking serves you and your business, but you have to identify what phase of life you're in and if that energy is actually serving your business. And what I did for the longest time was I built my business in this masculine energy with this masculine hustle, never taking time to unplug or unwind, and I was working 7 days a week, 90 hours a week, and never taking a day off. And before I knew it, my daughter was 1, and I was like, where the hell did all the time go, right? And it was because I was living in this I have to do more to be more. And then all of a sudden, I saw my business going backwards. And it's because the actions that I was doing were no longer serving that phase of life that I was in and that my business was in. So the intention behind everything that I was doing had this really janky, resentful, burnt out energy to it, right? So a big thing for us as visionaries is to paint the picture of where we want to go. Who do we want to be? What do we want the highest version of ourselves to look like? And so many times when I have discovery calls with people, or when I'm having my one-on-one calls with my coaches or my clients, I'll say, what does your highest self feel like? And so many people will say, she's present, she's balanced, she takes quality time to be with her spouse or her kids. And then I'll ask them, I'm like, is that what your life looks like right now? And so often they say no. And that's not a bad thing because it's so common. As entrepreneurs, we feel like all we hear is do more, do more, do more, do more. And that's what we think that we have to do to be more. When really we have to live in the energy of what we are seeking to become. We have to become who we see ourselves in the future right now. And so when all of my clients are saying they're running their asses into the ground, but yet they're seeking this life of balance and being present and spending time with their spouse and their kids, and they're not doing that, well, you can't hustle your way to balance. It's literally impossible, right? We have to become what we're seeking. And if balance is all the way over here and you're all the way over here in hustle, you're never gonna meet. Those lines are never gonna cross. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Crystal. Yes, Crystal. So true, she says. Thanks for tuning in, Danielle. Hi, guys. Hey, Mackenzie. So, when you're building your business and as you're scaling whatever it is that you are, calling in, whether it's, scaling your business, launching a business, climbing the corporate ladder, really think to yourself, what does the highest version of me feel like? And if that highest version of you is a present, balanced, centered person, but yet every single day of your life, you're feeling burnt out and exhausted and not excited about what you're doing, then take a look within, take a moment within and really ask yourself, what are the behaviors that I'm doing a lot of in my business that aren't yielding positive results? Are these actions actually yielding me a significant ROI? Are these behaviors bringing me any joy? Delegate, do less, and delete are my 3 Ds, right? So the 3 Ds that I tell my clients is, do less, delegate, or delete it, right? So if you're doing a shit ton of something and it's not bringing you the greatest of results, maybe scale back, do less of it, right? See what that brings to your business. If you're doing a lot of shit that you really don't like, delegate it, right? Pay someone else to do it. I started off really small in my business, delegating tasks here and there, right? Before I was able to afford being able to bring my daughter to a sitter and have certain things delegated out for me, right? And then delete certain things. So if you're doing a lot of shit in your business that isn't giving you good results, and there's not anyone else in your business that are doing those things either, delete them, right? There's no need to reinvent the wheel, right? And I truly believe that in order to create a thriving business, you have to do more of what brings you joy in that business, right? So delegate, do less, delete, all right? The 3 Ds. And so when you do that and you get really centered on doing more of the things that bring you joy and doing more of the things that are going to yield you a positive result in your business, what you put out is what you get back, right? All of a sudden you start to create this ripple effect of a really successful, thriving business. And then you've created Big Mo, and so then all of a sudden you start to be able to actually do less and achieve more. So that's how that sort of works, right? But you cannot build a lifestyle of balance when you're burning your ass into the ground. And I'm not saying don't take massive action. I believe in massive action, but I believe in the power of unplugging and being intentional and being present with your loved ones. I truly believe that how you create a thriving business is by bringing more of that in. Nobody wants to sign up with an online influencer, a network marketer, MLMer, or anyone who they see working their ass off 24/7. There was no wonder I couldn't sign coaches up on my team when I was connected to my phone 24/7. When I was posting 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and it felt icky to me. Now that works for some people. Some people that are in network marketing companies and entrepreneurs and MLMs that, are in a different phase of life, that works for them. Or that's what brings them joy, so they see a positive result. But for me, it wasn't bringing me joy, so I was posting 3 times a day, 7 days a week, because I thought that's what I had to do. But it wasn't yielding me any positive results. All it was doing was making me feel burnt out. So instead, I scaled it back to posting consistently 5 times a week. And if I don't want to show up a couple days because I want to be present with my daughter, not feeling guilty about it. And I started putting that energy into my business, that feel good. I'm going to do what feels aligned. I'm going to take a massive action Monday through Friday, or 5 days a week. And then if I want to unplug, mama unplugs. And there's no guilt to it, right? But because I knew there was no one that wanted to sign up with someone who was exhausted, who felt burnt out. And guys, energy transmits through time and space. So you might not think that people know that you're burnt out and exhausted, but if you're making posts talking about how great your life is and how free you are and all this, this life by design, but yet you're behind the phone and you're fucking exhausted, people can feel that. People can feel that. I'd rather show up with the best of me instead of the rest of me 4 to 5 times a week, bringing my best self, bringing my best energy, bringing the shit to these trainings because I know what's up, than being burnt out working my ass in the ground 7 days a week. And I've been able to scale my business so much better, so much quicker, and so much more joyfully doing it that way. And I'm not saying that this is a one-size approach. Hey Nicole, a one-size-fits-all approach, right? Because what works for my business might not work for someone else's, right? There are thousands of other entrepreneurs that might do the complete opposite of what I do and have seen more success quicker. And that works for them. It just didn't work for me, and it might not work for you. So I'm saying if it's not working for you, be willing and open to see and do things differently, right? So I talked about how you can't hustle your way to balance, right? So if we want a balanced life, we have to bring balance in, okay? Who would want to enroll with someone who's running their ass into the ground? And you have to become what you seek. So in order to live a lifestyle that feels balanced and present and centered and calm, you have to bring more of that in right now. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. I'm about to hit the road back to New York. I'm gonna go pick up my little pup. He's not really feeling the greatest, so I'm gonna go take him to the vet and bring him back to Florida. Social distancing was extended in New York yet again, so my daughter's gonna stay here in Florida with my mom and my grandma, and my sister and I are gonna take the drive to New York together. We're gonna actually take shifts, so I will still be working. I'll be working pretty much all day tomorrow. I have calls, so I'm gonna do those calls on the road. See, still taking massive action, always finding a way to get it done, showing up the best way I can and what feels good. If it didn't feel good, I wouldn't do it, right? I would say, I'm just gonna sit in the backseat of the car and sleep, or I'm gonna drive the whole way, but it felt good, right? So I still take the massive action, I still show the fuck up. You bet your ass. I brought my freaking sneakers with me, and I brought my bod, and I have my weights ready to go, and I'm gonna do my workout. When we get to the rest stop, I'm gonna do a quick little 30-minute workout, fuel up, get back in the car and go, okay? I'm not gonna skip it. Still take massive action. I'm gonna do what feels good. So stay tuned for that. I will make sure I document that for you guys, my little road trip workout. But otherwise, I hope you guys have an incredible Monday. I wish I could say that my week started off a little bit better than getting bad news from my brother that my pup isn't doing the greatest. But God is always doing everything for us, not to us, and I'm just going to put faith in him. Everything will be okay. And if anything, I get to my pup a little bit sooner than was already anticipated. So all the prayers and positive vibes are appreciated. Thank you guys for your patience with me. I love you all. Happy Monday. Bye, guys.